Welcome back. Communities truly are in fear as we're starting to see a widespread of insecurity in different parts of the country. But have no fear, because that conversation is what we're about to have. President Bola Tinubu has declared a nationwide security emergency and ordered the Nigerian police and armed forces to recruit additional personnel to tackle rising insecurity. The president directed the police to recruit 20,000 new officers, bringing the total planned intake to 50,000, and also authorized the use of NYSC camps as temporary training facilities. Now, he also ordered the development of trained forest guards to flush out terrorists and bandits.
He urged the National Assembly to review laws to enable state police and called on religious institutions and local authorities to improve security measures in the country. What does this mean for the long-term strategy against banditry and terrorism in Nigeria? Joining us this morning for this very important discussion are security consultant Patrick Agbamu and principal partner Monarchy Associates consultant Akinkunmi Vaughan-Thomas. So one welcome to you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Central. I'd like to start.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I'd like to start with you, Mr. Vaughan-Thomas. This state of emergency that has been declared by the president, what are your expectations and what makes it go beyond mere words, semantics, into necessary action? What does this mean for the state of security in Nigeria as we speak?
Except there is a special team that is put in place to train them beyond all those we have on ground already. I believe in the Nigerian system. We have very strong teams put in place for all what we're already going through. Why they are not put to use is the question. Because I'm just beginning to think of the warfare training and everything that will be put in place for forest guards and every other thing that is beyond what we already have on ground. We have a lot of units in the police, in the army, in all the armed forces that are ready to tackle these things. So to me, might be just another diversion or something we've put in place to occupy what is ongoing. That's how I see it. There are people to tackle all what we're going through even before now.
Maybe this declaration would give them the necessary impetus and extra willpower to, go against this bandits and terrorists. The armed forces, because what you're saying is we're already equipped. We have the manpower, we have the equipment to deal with this. Yeah. So you don't understand.
But if they still remain toothless dogs, nothing will be done. You can.
So the question is, why do you refer to them as toothless dogs?
Well, I will not stop emphasizing an underlying conspiracy in place that is running the nation like nobody's educated. All those things are in place, and every information we need, we have it. What we need to confront, we know it. The locations are not, they are not mysterious. And what we need to do is not anything that we don't know. This is what we have to do. So it's like we're playing a script and we're watching what will come out of it.
All right, let's go to Mr. Agbamu very quickly. You've worked closely with the government. You've had possibly an interchange of conversations and pointing towards the way to solve this entire insecurity situation. Do you think that this declaration is anything different from what we've possibly heard before? Charging the security operatives to go and do what they are expected to do, bring peace and calm and secure the borders and secure the people's lives and properties. What makes this declaration different from your own point of view?
Yeah, thank you. The declaration, as a matter of fact, everywhere, meaning Nigeria, will agree that the situation we are experiencing in terms of security, insecurity, demands an emergency action, demands action that is just more than the ordinary. Really, that is the true fact. because today, insecurity challenges is on the front burner of everything we are doing. Of course, before security is the paramount responsibility of any living human being, and also even the government. So it's something that is important for us to face the situation holistically. Just that my own disagreement with it is, you don't just mention state the emergency situation, security emergency, without properly putting on ground the necessary things that will activate those emergencies. Those strategy in place really have not been put in place. I tell you that it's a statement meant to give the Nigerian citizens hope, meant to, just like the guest there in the studio said, maybe to ginger the troops, but already the troops of the very armed forces and the police, they are ready to get this thing sorted out. I will tell you the majority of them are tired of the whole situation. I can tell you that because I interact with a large number of them, one way or the other, in various parts of the country. Right now I'm in Borno State, so I can practically tell you that yes, the troops are very tired of this situation. They want it to be resolved. So, but there are things that need to be put in place, which is yet to be done, and so there's no magic that will make it just like that, solve the situation just immediately.
Thank you very much, Mr. Agbamu. Back to the studio, Mr. Vaughan-Thomas. Mr. Agbamu mentioned something. It said that they already have the necessary equipment and personnel to deal with these issues, just like you reiterated earlier. But the president is not just speaking, they're moving pieces and is ordering for certain actions to be carried out. And one of such action is that the president ordered mass recruitment into the police and military. But how feasible is it to train and deploy 20,000 officers quickly without sacrificing quality and discipline? You have a military background. Where we went to secondary school, there was a bigger, we were in Chindit barracks, and you had Depot Nigerian Army. That's where you train the recruits that join the army. My question is, how long will it take, as a security expert, to train a disciplined fighting man in weapons handling and all other necessary areas? And then, are you going to deploy this new 20,000 or X number of new recruits to the front line, or they act as a buffer? Could you help us unpack this?
Time is of the essence, and a lot of things could go wrong in 7 days. And you can't train new sets of persons. I know the psychology behind training. You can't train a new set of persons in 7 days to expect them to handle what people that have been on ground for decades have not been able to manage. Now, you know, the insult of our immediate situation is how tech the world is now. We don't need big planes, and you will not believe it, we don't need much humans to get the immediate intelligence, everything we need to do. But let's refer to three things. When there is a psychological warfare, there is the deny, distort, and divert that is used in psychological warfare. That is, I just see us, I see us playing a drama, because any military general or anybody in the armed forces that says, yes, now we have been told to go and train, we will know how to handle, the person must be, permit me as we say it in the military before now, that person is a clown. Because you need time to train people, and you need to train them excellently beyond what you have on ground. In the military, we have special forces. We have them in the Navy. We have them. We have them everywhere. Now, I'm saying if we have new techs or new things we can put in place, you will not believe what we can cover. Just something that can bring on view, even exposing what is happening right there to the public. But let's do it this way. Aside the tech or the new tech machines and things we can put to play, I think what will be louder is if within our borders, the presidents and the governors within our borders, if I hear of engagements from Nigeria on, come on, look, this is what we're going through across your border, across my border, what can we do? And the one thing I know about the military is guarded, the military is guarded by serious military law. Serious. You can't tell a military man, even if he sees trouble, to go beyond his bound. He needs an instruction. If you don't give him the instruction, he will see what can kill him, and a military man will still be on guard. That's the military. So when I say a toothless bulldog, I mean even the generals that have been put in place right now, if they notice there is a conspiracy that hinders them and there is nobody that can help them to give them, the marching order is not with these new people. The marching order is with those that are already in place. If there is no policy or anything holding them bound, if the Air Force, new Navy, new Army, service chiefs said, look, I employed you people for what I know you can do. Let's work together. I empower you, and they're not submitting to any other. I tell you, these people can bring good results, strong good results. And the training that has been put in place, I've said it. You can't train anybody within 7 days and expect good results.
I think we should throw the same question to Mr. Agbamu. Mr. Agbamu, do you have any other thoughts concerning how these new recruits, when they come in, they will be able to function appropriately? And I also like you to look into the aspect of remuneration, because this is very key. I mean, this is a motivating factor as well.
Yeah, in fact, the truth, just yesterday I was discussing with some people. I said, listen, the recruitment exercise that the president had just declared is not visible immediately, because he wants police to recruit 20,000 additional force. First and foremost, where are they going to get them from? Yes, we have so many unemployed youths, but mind you, the last recruitment exercise that police carried out, they found it very difficult to even fill the 10,000 slots that was given. And the difficulties are when you check out the number of those who, check out the sponsors of those who were selected. They were majorly sponsored by politically exposed persons, and who have brought some of their members of their constituency to join one way or the other as a way of political placating of their constituency. So those who actually desired to join could not find their ways in there. So that, in effect, again, is a minus in that process. But the recruiting agencies do not have their handicap. There's nothing they could do. They can't resist when the political masters, because democracy said they must be subjected to civil authorities, when the political masters want this to be done. So that is a challenge on itself. Two, already as we speak, even accommodating the 10,000, which is the initial this in the various police training institutions, is difficult because the facility, the infrastructure is not non-existent, and that initiated the move when the president set up a committee of 3 governors and the former Inspector General of Police to go around and review the state of the different police institutions. Mind you, this committee had been there from the previous government, but now they also carried out to review what is on ground and see how that will take another more than 1 year to be done. The funding, the sorting of the funding, and the carrying out of the project itself is another Herculean task. So that is that. And then he talked about NYSC camps. NYSC camps do not necessarily have the required training facilities that the security forces need. Some of the NYSC camps are other former secondary schools and all that, and we know what happened. So really, giving the marching order for the recruitment, yes, it's good to have more hands on deck in this because our ratio in terms of security presence is very, very small. But you need to put the enabling environment for that training, for the training condition to be able to carry out effectively what we are meant to. The facts of the remuneration, like you talked about, of course, definitely is one of the things that needs to be done because to be able to convince more Nigerians to join, you need to increase the remuneration. What they have now is nothing to write home about. So you need to do it. So, and all these things, there's no budgetary allocation for it for now. All these things we're talking about. Yes, I agree that there could be supplementary budget, there could be CC of things to be solved. But how well will this help in the immediate effect to secure what we need for the immediate solution? So that really will not be the issue. I think that there are things that could be done in the immediate to get things improved in Nigeria than the so-called 20,000 recruitment.
Thank you so much, Mr. Agbamu. Earlier in the week, we had some cheering news of the return of kidnapped students in Maga and also the church in Kwara. The spokesperson to Mr. President, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, said that the kidnappers in Kwara State, Eruku, released the kidnapped victims, knowing because they knew the consequences that was going to come on them if they failed to do so. And we also had commentary that securing the release of those innocent people was the ultimate. My question to you is, how do we prevent these soft targets, kidnappings and attack on soft targets like schools? Because we've taken a reactionary position by shutting all unity schools and schools in remote areas. Some state governments have done that to prevent this sort of attacks. Are there any implications? Do we as Nigerians need to know what really happened? And does the government owe us transparency, knowing if they paid a ransom, if the military was involved, or do those threats really suffice, as Mr. Onanuga suggested, that the fear of the Nigerian army and the consequences that will come upon them have made them release these victims, as if the kidnapping itself is not a crime and the security operatives don't have a duty to apprehend them?
I'm still very much involved in security right now, so I'm not just a veteran. When you profile the videos that I don't know how they sent it to us about when they were questioning those children, if they were beaten, if they were comfortable, I challenge people to look at the background of that video, the nearby terrains that was close to that place. It's not a forest. It's not. It's like an immediate community of a group of persons. That an arrangement was made. It's not a theater. It's not a place where war is ongoing. And the children, if you profile them properly, from the way they were answering with interest and excitement here and there, you'll be thinking you're watching a skit. And beyond the skit is this. While my colleague was speaking on the other side, I'm an ex-boy, and I was trained for 6 years by Nigeria itself. I'm sponsored, and I'm a breed of that. It took years for our mind to be formed. I'm going back to the place where this recruitment thing comes in. For my psychology to be built the way it is now, it took years for me to come to be where I am now. And at the age of 12, I know how it was impacted on me to assemble and disassemble rifles. I know warfare like the fingers, my fingers. But the psychology behind is what I think this recruitment thing needs to work with.
I might be missing out on.
Yes, in the sense that parents that are going to release their children that just finished from the university to go into what you are recruiting, regardless of how jobless they can be. The psychology from the government needs to encourage parents to release the children. The children that want to go into it, because why I call them children is they are children when it comes to what we're talking about. When they want to come into the training, a lot of them are already discouraged. So let's start from the front lines, where people are. I mean those that are already in the front. They need to be encouraged psychologically that the government is with them, that the government is capable, that the government is not divided. Now, coming back to these children that were suddenly released, in the asking that, will such thing repeat itself? If they are acting it, many of it will come to happen. If they are acting it out and we are seeing, oh yeah, go and catch them, oh yeah, release them, if that's, a lot of that could happen. But it's a place where immediate community, because I was listening to where they released those children, and the mention of those that their lives were lost was not an issue. It was not mentioned any longer. Now, every immediate community, every estate need to sit up and ask themselves a question. I'm not even going to allow you to ask the question, are we safe? You know you are not safe. What can you do? All those things need to be in place while the government is getting themselves together, and at the same time trying to use time to recruit. We'll wait for the recruitment to finish, and we'll come to see the difference of what they will do that is far different from what those that are already on ground are going to do.
I have a question. I just want to piggyback on what you've said, and I think I would like Mr. Agbamu to also jump on this. When I saw that video of the kids who were released, I hope our producers can get that video as well so we can put it up for the benefit of the public as well. I remember here on Wake Up Conversations, just as we start our breakfast show, myself and Olive, and I did say something that, I mean, in human psychology, I've been able to follow a few persons who are psychologists, and I talk to them, and they're popular ones as well. You could check them online, you could read their books. They have this thing they call the facial expression in psychology, that from your face
Body
you could
language.
tell, yes, body language, facial, you could tell if somebody is, e.g., if somebody needs to use the restroom, from the way they carry their body and their face, you could tell something is wrong. And they also linked it to security. If someone is in danger,
It's profiling.
if a woman, yeah, exactly, if a woman is always battered by her husband and she starts to give this feeling and you're watching, you know. And I saw the children. I did remember mentioning it on Wake, and I said, the way they were happy, their facial expressions, the excitement didn't look like they were kids who were likely kidnapped. But let's watch. We do have experts in the house, so I'd like them to also highlight what they see. Let's just watch the video. We'll be right back.
Mariam Usman.
Okay.
JSS 38.
Okay. You?
Salima Sanis.
Okay.
SS 38.
Number what?
Number 5.
Number 4. You number?
6.
Number 5.
5. Now that's SS 38.
Okay. Who is the next number?
6.
Okay. Your name? The next number? Number what?
Number 7. Najat Abdullah from SS 38.
Okay.
Mariam Elias.
Call your number first. Number what?
Number 8.
Uh-huh.
Mariam Elias from SS 38.
Next one.
Number 9. Amina Elias.
Number?
Number 10.
Well, Mr. Agbamu, I'd like you to start first before I come back to our guest in the studio. I don't know, what do you make out of that? We're not trying to paint a picture here, but we're just trying to highlight Does it look like some of these things could be staged if care is not taken?
Yeah, thank you. First and foremost, I know how you feel for your loved one not to be with you, and you can't tell their whereabouts or tell their state how they are, how they are feeling. So first, we must thank God and appreciate that these children they are back to their families. You know, that is one thing that is paramount. That is one thing I always warn. That it's better to prevent a kidnap or adoption incident before it happens, because when these victims are with their captive, it becomes difficult to extricate them, to bring them out without collateral damage being done. For us to be able to do it without any collateral damage, you need to go into advanced science by using some chemical sprays and all that. That in itself is so. The other things you use is to use fear factor, like what we are told that happened in this case, by hovering around the whole place. Already they know that their location has been exposed. That is one factor that can actually help, but it may not help to the facts of bandits who are interested in money. Unless if the motive is beyond money, because they use those children as human shield. You know, they know that you will not, in your right senses, try to shoot at them or drop bomb at them, because the children you are trying to save will also be victims. So they know that. But when you go into the video that the bandits themselves did when they released, where they were talking, saying that they, apart from noticing the military helicopter around them, they also were talked to by some of their leaders. They specifically mentioned that some of their leaders spoke to them. And yes, in the back end, maybe the government contacts, government agencies with them could have talk with these their leaders, and that would have actually, you don't just talk with mouth, of course, but paying ransom is something that we have tried to say, look, because the more you pay ransom, the more these bandits, the more these kidnappers, whoever they are getting stronger and stronger, of course, because it's a business that the profits is more and the risk is less. So that is the situation. So looking at this video, you can see that first and foremost, psychologically, these are children that first they are eager to go home. I don't know if you are hearing me over there.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Hello?
I just want to...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, you can see that these are children that are eager to go home. And in this particular bus where they are, those people that are interrogating them are not these bandits. Those are government officials. So obviously means that the children are feeling safer, that they are heading home. So yeah, the excitement could be accepted. But the other video, which was conducted by the bandits themselves, you know, you could see some level of some fear and all that. So really, I think that looking at this video, the first thing is that we should stop any form of kidnapping or adoption, because how to get it out or resolve it is always very, very unpredictable.
Now, I'll stay with you, Mr. Agbamu, just before we wrap up. My final question to you is, having seen what Nigeria's experienced in the last 2 weeks, this uptick in insecurity, what can the government do in the immediate, knowing that the president has declared a state of emergency on security in the country, and we've seen some of the plans is rolled out? Are these soft targets, hits and attacks on soft targets, preventable, given military assets and platforms that we have? And what needs to be done to put an end to it?
Yeah, thank you. The truth of the matter is that in reality, to get this in the immediate, to resolve it in the immediate, I will tell you, is a little bit not totally visible. The reason I said this is because we have allowed this to fraudster to be on for a very long time. Today, as we speak, there are so many ungoverned spaces, whether forests or communities, where these bandits, not just bandits, because of course in the southeast we are seeing things happen there. Also in the north central, we are seeing it happen. So all forms of those who foment terror or trouble to the communities are in control of so many spaces, and the communities themselves, for two reasons. One, some communities believe that, look, this is a business venture. Just yesterday, we had interaction with one of the logistics suppliers to some of these criminal group, and who is supplying them with a lot of things, sundry things. And he said what we found out is that why he went into it is that because it's very, very lucrative. So some Nigerian citizens are still doing business with these people and making a whole lot of money. In fact, we are interrogating somebody who supplies, among the things he supplies is hard drugs. So hard drugs, and he was saying that a tablet of a tablet or capsule of tramadol, which is sold at 200 naira in the normal society, is sold to these bandits at about 1,500 or 1,020, 1,200 or 1,500. So you can see why some Nigerians are ready to go on and carry out the risk. He said a lot of things in terms of logistic fueling, that they use different means to be able to get fuel to these people. And it costs, while a liter is about 1,000 in some places or 900 and something in some places, they're selling a liter for about 3,000 or more to these bandits. So you can see some of the things that are fueling it. And so the communities need to be able to see how to help this issue we are talking about. Then some communities also back them out of fear because they have not felt the presence of governance at all. Look, I tell you that government, as we have in Nigeria, particularly at the subnational levels, local and state level, are only present at the headquarters or at the capitals of these either local government headquarters or state capital. Go to the rural areas, the remote areas. I traveled to a community that ordinarily is just less than 30 kilometers, but it took us more than 1 hour, 30 minutes to get there because there are no roads. So in effect, the people who can access them easily are these bandits or these terrorists who can come with motorcycle from any angle and interact with them, give them some handouts, which is what they're doing. They are carrying out their own psychological warfare by trying to buy the people on their side, giving them some handouts in terms of anything. We've seen a situation where the bandits, after collecting money from ransom, got some motorcycles and gave to some community youths who are using it either to, in the meantime, before they are called for any operation, they use it to carry out surveillance for this bandit. They also use it for commercial activities to make money to themselves and all that. So a whole of society approach is needed, and a whole of government approach is needed. And that is the only solution. Because one of the things I know, of course, is that there are communities, I can tell you that you can go there, when you go there to try to carry out a forceful attack or bombing, there are people, Nigerians, that are living around them, and they know them. They know where they are. You can't bomb those people because, of course, that will become international crime because you are bombing your own citizens. And that is why there are restrictions by manufacturers of some of the equipment we are having for us to use it in some areas. As we speak, the Super Tucanos that we bought, with 12 of them that we bought, cannot be used in any other place other than the northeast. That is the instruction the people who sold it to us gave it to us. And the same issue with some of the drones that we have. We have a very powerful drone units platforms in both the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Air Force. But these things cannot be, because some of the people who supply the government said, look, you cannot use it in this case, cannot use it in this case. So there are a lot of issues that are even beyond the security forces. Not that they are not willing to do their work, they are very well willing, but there are things that are factors that are not internal, which is inhibiting all these people. Why the people, the citizens, innocent citizens are living, some are living among these terrorists, among these bandits, the pressure from outside.
Mr. Agbamu, unfortunately, we're out of time.
We're completely out of time. Time is well spent. I want to believe that we would have to invite you again, especially with these insights you're sharing concerning the places you've been, and you also just told us you're in Borno State. We would have loved to ask more questions, but because of our time constraint, we can no longer continue with this conversation. But do grant us another opportunity next week so we can have you back on Breakfast Central, as well as our in-house security guest here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.